Good afternoon. I'm your typical farmer getting up at the crack of noon to go check on everything going on. We're going to start prepping the raised beds for planting. Hopefully we'll even get some planting done today. Got a carrot coming up. Some little strays. This onion's looking mighty good. That was planted last year. Looks like we may be able to harvest it this year. Excuse me. This garden bed. Excuse me. Yeah, the pollen. Look at the tree. You can see all the yellow at the yellow tips of pollen everywhere. It's not in full force yet, but it will be soon enough. But anyway, so I've got some onion in here too. We've got to pull all these leftovers, basil and tomato, out of here. Yeah, a little bit to do. That was my super basil last year. It did really well. I got a lot of pesto off of that one. It was good. I've got tomatoes. I bet I'll have baby tomatoes coming up in here. That thing went wild. So let's go out to the orchard and the berries and check out what's happening there. Before we do that, let's check out this dogwood is finally coming into bloom here, as are the Chinese fringe. It's really pretty. There's a red dogwood on that property as well. Thanks to the storms, the Bradford pear, which do not produce fruit and they are also invasive, they have dropped almost all their flowers. Yay, they're stinky too. Yeah, the asparagus are starting to come up before I really got this bed cleaned out. So some have actually already started to branch off and spike out, getting ready to flower. These are really tall. This asparagus here is about, oh gosh, it's almost 5 feet tall. Anyway, I have some stalks in there that are harvestable, and they'll continue to grow. I usually get like 2 crops, spring crop and a fall crop out of these. So anyway, some of them are hard to see. Like I said, I really need to get out here and clean this out, and I have not yet. So anyway, let's go on to the berries, see what's happening here. I see this raspberry. Wild raspberry needs to go. It has spikes on it. I don't do spiked berries at all. So this is blueberries. Looks like it'll be a pretty decent harvest on there if the deer don't get to them this year. Another good blueberry. This one's loaded. It is covered with blossoms. They're about done though, I think. They're about done. This one, look. That branch is just loaded with blossoms. I'm actually thinking about getting some more blueberries. This little low bush. I think I have 8 blueberries and 7 different varieties of blueberries. I have some low bush, some high bush. Glad to see the low bush are getting taller. I like bending that far over for my food. This one's pretty well covered too. I don't know, what is this? Some kind of vine coming out of here? I'll have to get to the root of that, so to say. I don't know where that came from. I just stripped some of my flowers off too. Getting to that. I have no idea. It's odd. Maybe kudzu. It's pretty prolific over here. Little berries there. The was about 25 feet of thornless blackberries here. The leaves are just starting to bud. This one's just getting started with its blooming. That's what I like about having variety is you have berries that ripen at different times. This one's always been super prolific. And all those blossoms. Looks awesome. Here's the last one. Yes. Looking forward to this. So I've been thinking about our deer issue. And this fig tree, it's a Chicago fig. It is super, super hardy. I love it. And the figs are really big compared to my turkey figs. Look sad to me. I don't know if it's just they're not liking the heat up here. Anyway, my thought is if I can root some more of these figs, then I could make a fence around my yard using fig trees. And that way the deer can have all the figs they want on one side, and then it would keep them from coming into the rest of the main garden and eating my blueberries like they did last year. I mean, they decimated them. And that was the first year ever living here that they've done that. And we've had all this going for some years now. So I'm thinking this might be a good deer fence solution. I don't know, tell me, what do you think? Can they crawl under that? I know the babies could probably get under it, but maybe less likely if the food source is on the side that they can get to easily. I don't know, tell me what you think. This is my white mulberry. It's just starting to put out leaves. It's one of the first producers. It'll give me fruit in April. I have a sad looking, I think this is a turkey fig too. It just looks kind of sad. But I had a persimmon there before and it ended up dying. But it was one that I brought that was pretty young from my old property. And here we have an Anna apple. It doesn't require so many cold hours if you live in a hot environment. So, but yeah, it's slow growing. I have another one that is having a difficult time too. It's my first time. This is sad. We're going to see what happens here. This was my orange tree, and we got down below 15 degrees for a few days running. So this tree took some damage, even though you can see we put these T-posts in and tried to protect it with cover. But I'm seeing some green down here. So I think what I'll do is trim off this deadest looking points and see if we can get some growth out of the bottom there. I'm thinking we can. My theory is never say a tree is dead immediately. Give it a year. This was my loquat. It is dead. I'm pretty sure. I think the deer ate the loquat. I've got pomegranate. It's just starting to green. I need to thin that out quite a bit. I've got lots of trimming and pruning to do. This is a, forget the name of this. Oh, this is another pomegranate. And then this, it's a newbie, but grass has grown around it. I need to see if I can find it. It was doing well. But it too may have died in the freeze. It was a pretty dramatic freeze for this far south. So let's go on these blueberry here. Golly, I can't wait. Like I said, I hope we find a way to keep the critters out this year. This is an Asian pear, and it's just now getting some green on it. There you go. So, and then here it looks like it's about to flower up here, so that'll be good. But last year we had one pear that survived. This is young. I don't expect much out of it. I don't put a lot of pressure on trees. They do what they want. Here's a pear. This one took a lot of damage in the bark. I don't know what's going on with it, but it did manage to survive some stuff. Now we're going to put another peach borer moth trap on here and see if we can protect this better. But I don't know, it's still alive and kicking somehow. So it's not giving up hope on itself, so I won't either. This is a pawpaw tree, and it's starting to get its little blossoms on it too. They're just about to come in. So I, in the past, this tree's small yet, so I've been able to hand pollinate. And you can check out a video. I made a short where we actually tasted the fruit. We did get, I don't know, 2 fruits in final. I think some critters got a hold of one. But we were finally able to taste a pawpaw, and it wasn't a pawpaw Murdoch pawpaw. Now back here I have, this is a red mulberry tree. And again, this also, oh, you can see this one already has some fruit coming in on it. So again, that will start producing by April. This was a whip somebody gave me. They're like, hey, there's a mulberry tree and I love them. Do you want me to cut some stems? And I said, sure. She cut me 5. I stuck 5 in the ground and I got 2 trees. The white mulberry and this one. So this thing's almost 20 feet now. It's huge. Here's my other Anna apple. I think it got knocked over by some trucks. So it's looking kind of wild now. I'm going to prune it this year for better growth. All these outer limbs are coming out. And I'm going to make this odd center limb is going to become the main stem of the tree, and I'm going to probably cut it down to about, I don't know, let's see, pretty low actually. Once I get rid of all those other limbs, there's going to be plenty of room for that. But I like to trim my fruit trees around knee height. That way they branch out and it makes for long-term picking to be easier. Here's my other peach tree, and it needs a severe, it's got the typical what you want, an umbrella kind of opening in the middle, upside down umbrella. So the structure is good. I just need to, I'm not happy with this many blooms. I really needed to drastically prune this tree. So I'm probably going to do that late This has never produced for me, even when it was younger but blossomed. So I don't know what's going on. But I'm not giving up. Again, I may get a couple other. This is Belle of Georgia, I believe. Which is funny because the other peach was also Belle of Georgia, supposedly. But they have two different blossom colors. So, here we have another fig. And it's about to come out. I think that's my brown turkey. Again, I think they make good deer cover. And then this is a persimmon, and it's just now budding out as well. So, yeah. So, yep. So that's the orchard and berry area. So far, so good. We're going to work today on starting to plant some vegetables in the raised beds. So, yep, we'll see what the year brings. Hopefully, if you have a garden, I wish you a lot of abundance and success. And if you haven't started gardening or haven't tried, just grow something. Get a container garden if you live in an apartment. You know, you don't know you can grow something until you try. And it's always worth trying, even if it's just herbs. But my favorite of all time is, of course, tomatoes. But anything from the garden tastes way better than anything you'll ever get in a grocery store. So it's all worth the effort. Same thing. Anyway, thanks for coming along. Hit the subscribe button and that notification bell. And share with your friends. And we'll be seeing you later. Take care.